Welcome to another episode of the Jet and Mike podcast. We are here live and in the building, and we're super excited because we have multiple people in the studio this time. It isn't just the Jet and Mike podcast, but it's Jet and Mike featuring the homie Birdman Iceberg.
How's it going, man?
It's going great. It's going great. You know, I'm in town for the week. Have some business got to do for graduate school. But
All right.
good to see the Rosa again.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Pretty much, like I said, we are just excited to have Bird in the building, and I'm excited that Jet's here.
I made it. It's been a long week, but I'm here, man. I'm in the building.
I appreciate it, man. I need some of that Jet energy.
You know that's something Jet got no problem giving you too, brother, man. Get me turned just enough.
Yep, I appreciate it, man. That's what we need out of you. So, first and foremost, we want to take the time, as always, if you are listening to this podcast for the first time, thank you so much for tuning in. It really means the world to us that you take the time to listen to what we have to say. And we're going to try and give you the best, most entertaining podcast as possible. And without further ado, as they say, young Jethro, earlier this week, me and Jet were talking. Here we go. Earlier this week, me and Jet were talking, and of course, the debate came up on First Take. Magic Johnson was featured, and he said that his Showtime Lakers could beat the Golden State Warriors. And me and Jethro disagreed. Da-da-da. So, me and Jet, now we're going to, I guess, stake our cases for why we feel the way we feel. Jet, would you like to go first? Would you like me to go first?
I'll let you go ahead, man.
Oh, that's a change.
It is.
He never lets me go first.
Just looking at you give me some time, man. I just, you know what I'm saying? I gotta get my facts together real quick, brother.
Well, I'm glad that you are willing to get your facts together, and Bird we'll catch you in. We'll swing you in as well, and give you a chance to say what you need to say as well about what's going on. But first and foremost, I think that I agree with Magic Johnson. I think that this Lake Show team was almost damn near unbeatable. Why do I say that? Because of the simple fact that not only did they beat you up, roughhouse you on the defensive end, but they had scoring out the wahoo. You got to remember, you got James Worthy, you got Byron Scott and those guys coming off the bench, and then you got Magic Johnson setting you up, and Magic Johnson passing the ball, and Magic Johnson making plays, and then, of course, in the middle, the man with the unstoppable shot, the sky hook, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That man and his sky hook is the reason why he is the leading the leading scorer in NBA history, only to be seconded by Karl Malone. But I'm telling you guys, that hook shot, that sky hook was unstoppable, and at his height, there's nobody that's stopping him. I'm sorry. I love Bogut. He's a good guy. Festus Ezeli, great. I love the way that Marin Spites likes to shoot three-pointers as a big man, but none of those guys are stopping Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. It would take a team effort, and if you do that, then he's just going to kick the ball out to one of the three-point shooters or to James Worthy, who slashed into the cup, and that's a shot right there.
But then also keep in mind the fact that what we got to realize is that obviously two different eras, correct?
Correct.
So with that being said, first of all, if you put the Warriors in that era, they would be forced to adjust to the way that the game was being played back then.
Correct.
And
which actually I think, but I think that would be an easier adjustment than the Lakers adjusting to the way that the Warriors play now.
Well, no doubt. Simply because if you put that Lakers team in today's game, I mean, just the physicality. I mean, half their roster would be fouled out. You know what I mean?
Correct.
But with that being said, I feel like if you put this Warriors team in that era, then that gives your Andrew Bogut's of the world, your Verajals of the world, your Draymond Greens of the world, the free range to be as physical as you know they can be and as they want to be.
Good point, my brother.
So, I mean, putting a body on Kareem, although, I mean, let's be honest, that skyhook was damn near unstoppable, was it not?
Mm-hmm.
If not all the way unstoppable. But, I mean, they're going to make it difficult given that point in time. Mm-hmm. Now, you raise a good point when you say, you know, with throwing Magic on Steph, he's going to make it hard for him.
Yes.
Difficult, yes. But as somebody who can create a shot against even LeBron James himself, in my eyes, I don't see any of those players being quick enough to be able to guard that man without absolutely knocking him over and stopping him to the point of like, all right, you got to give the ball up. You know what I mean? And even then, I mean, they're spread so I don't know what the word. I mean, they spread the floor so well, the Warriors do, that it's just, yeah, that team can score in bunches, but at the same time, man, this Golden State are run and gun, in which, like you said, that Showtime Lakers team, they're a run and gun too. But at the same time, I mean, like I said, putting the Warriors team in that era, they're gonna adjust to the physical play. They're gonna that run and gun. I mean, I feel like they're not just gonna absolutely not get back on defense and not stop a fast break. I don't think that they're gonna get outran up and down the floor. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So in a 7-game series, I just feel like the reason why I feel like this Warriors team would beat that Showtime Lakers team would just simply because I feel like the Warriors are quicker, and as much as people like to say they lack physicality, I just don't. I don't believe that they lack it to the point to where they're going to be outplayed and outbullied when you've got a Bogut and you've got a Draymond and like I know I keep bringing his name up, but I mean Verajal, he's not a punk. You know what I mean? None of them are. So I mean, I just feel like they're not going to get bullied like people say they would.
So you believe that because of physicality, and because the difference in eras and being able to be more physical and to hand check and things like that,
right,
it will cause the physicality of the Warriors to overshadow what the Lakers were trying to do.
Yeah, I feel like the Lake, now putting them up against now okay, if you put them, because when you think about it like that, like you say, they're a run and gun team, so it's not going to be there's not going to be too many half court sets going on throughout the game. Now that'd be a different case if you're talking about putting them up against the Pistons of the night, the bad boy Pistons,
right?
You know what I mean? Because they're going to shake you up so bad on the defensive end that, I mean, Steph and them not going to want to play anymore,
right?
Because you see how you take Steph out of the game early,
it's over.
You know what I mean?
Things get out of hand quickly.
The mouthpiece don't ever come back in his mouth, and his head is all in his, you know what I'm saying, all in his chest for the rest of the game. So, I mean, I think and with a bad boy Pistons team, there you've got that physical defense, but then they play small as well, and they're a quick team. So I feel like that would be a whole different story. But I mean, the way they match up, yeah, they're bigger, but I don't think that the Warriors would back down from a physical challenge with that Showtime Lakers. And I feel like that would be the only way. And in my opinion, I feel like that would be the only way that that would be a landslide if they just bullied them. But I just don't believe that down in the paint that Warriors team would go for that. I just don't.
Birdman, your thoughts? Who will win and why?
I think earlier, about a few minutes ago, you said the two magic words that I was thinking the whole time was hand check.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about adaptability. Obviously, in that era where it was so much physical, the Lakers, ran roughshod around the league, and without hand check rules, it would be more so the same. And even we knew, okay, with the bad boy Pistons, they, even though they got swept in '89, they did beat them in the 7-game series, and we don't know if you put Steph on with Dumars and
Isaiah.
Thomas.
Yeah,
That's a different story.
exactly. I agree.
So that said, I don't know if the Warriors, given if you put hand check, 5 games.
5 games.
5 games, the Lakers. And I think, the X factor, as we said earlier, the most unstoppable move, probably second to the MJ fadeaway, is that skyhook. I think that really goes underappreciated in this day and age.
It does.
But, Kareem would have no problem. And all due respect to Bogut and Ezeli and Spates, but, he was dealing with guys like Parrish and McHale, and Olajuwon.
True enough.
So, yeah, 5 games, Showtime Lakers.
5 games. Showtime.
Yeah, like I said, I just believe that it would take a lot for that Warriors team to beat the Lakers in the Lakers era of refereeing and the foul calls and things like that. Now, let's not get it wrong, because if Steph Curry gets hot and he can shoot over anybody, even a 6'6", 6'7" Magic Johnson. No, I'm sorry, Magic Johnson 6'9". Sorry, excuse me. Yeah, Magic Johnson is 6'9". A 6'9" Magic Johnson. If he can shoot over Kevin Durant, he can shoot over Magic Johnson. Let it be known. Like I said, so, I mean, if him and Clay get hot, anything can happen, but they're going to get roughhoused. They're going to get knocked over and things like that. Now, if we move to Lakers versus Warriors and Warriors era of refereeing, I think it may be a little bit of a different story, because I think that the guard play would decide the game. I think that if they can keep their fouls, I think if the Warriors were able to keep their fouls to a minimum against Kareem, then the guard play of Klay Thompson and Steph Curry and the way that the Magic played aggressively on defense would cause Magic Johnson to get into foul trouble, would cause Byron Scott, Michael Cooper, those guys to get into foul trouble, and would send Steph and Klay to the line.
Yeah. But I mean, so you think that putting the Warriors in their era, you're taking Lakers landslide.
Yeah.
Putting the Lakers in today's era, we're kind of up in the air.
Yeah,
on which
yeah.
way that would go.
I'm gonna go ahead and say I'll choose Lakers. I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and say I'll choose Warriors, but I'm not saying that Lakers wouldn't give them a go.
Right.
Yeah, and it will be much more competitive, in that zone defense environment. But then at the same time, you're going to open up a 6'9" point guard to penetrate, the hole. And then you have, 2 other big guys in Worthy and Cooper to do their thing.
Right.
And I'm going to take what you said and flip it, because I feel like putting the Lakers, the Showtime Lakers in today's era, I feel like that would be a cakewalk for them, as opposed to putting them back in that era. Now, with that being said, I think that I will recant on what I said earlier this week, and take it. All right, so I'll put it like this: if I put the Warriors team, today's Warrior team, in 86, 87. I think adjusting. I don't think they will get ran over. I'll still take Lakers, but I don't think that they would get ran over.
Mm-hmm.
Now, putting the Showtime Lakers in 2015, 2016 with no hand checking, can't sneeze on them. Free cheese. That skyhook is unstoppable when you got somebody like a Parrish and all those guys D'ing you up.
Mm-hmm.
How much more unstoppable is it when you can't even touch them going up?
That's
and
true.
we all know that the Warriors can get got on defense.
Yeah.
Yes, they can.
They just proved that all too well last night. Good God.
Yeah. I think that so we'll agree to disagree.
We'll agree to disagree.
But like I said, I'm taking final call. I'm taking Warriors in this era, Lake Show and Lake Show era. Jed?
Okay. I'm going again, for anybody who saw the Facebook post, I am after careful consideration and looking at some stats. In the Lake Show era, I'm taking Lake Show, but not. Bird said he's got him in 6 or in 5. I think that the Warriors would push him to the. I think that in that era, I think the Warriors would go 6 or 7. But I feel like the Lake Show in that era, and I'm still taking the Lake Show in this era as well, but by a landslide. I'm taking Lake Show in 15-16 by a sweep.
Wow. Bird.
This era, the hand check era, it goes 7, and it can go either way. But like I said, X Factor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Skyhook. I'll go with Lake Show. 80s, Cakewalk. 4, maybe 5 games. Lake Show.
All right. Well, everybody, we need to hear from you. So we want to know what you think would happen if the Lakers of the 80s faced off against these today Warriors. Magic Johnson said that his Lakers would kill the Warriors.
I disagree, Magic. You wouldn't kill him, but y'all beat him.
And Klay Thompson said that the Warriors would kill the Lakers of that era. I'm choosing. You already heard what we've chose, but we want to hear from you. What you decide. Who do you think will win? Would it be Lakers? Would it be Warriors? Why? Tell us why. Give us a listen. Make sure you guys share.
And if I may, real quick, before we wrap this up, we've done a few, and we've been on sports subjects, but I want to take a moment to throw a quick shout out and rest in peace to Muhammad Ali.
Most definitely.
Shout out and R.I.P. to Kimbo Slice, and shout out to their respective families, and may the grieving process, be as easy as any grieving process may be, but we've done a few of them, and I failed to mention it, but I just wanted to, make that be known. They were sports icons, and not Kimbo, he wasn't an icon, but I mean the man had hands, so
right,
you know what I mean. So
we enjoy the street fights on YouTube.
Sure, he knocked the dude's eye out, like not eye out, but shit might as well been out of his head.
I remember, I think I was in 8th grade, and I just got a computer. And I remember it was at lunch, and the kids was like, "Oh, you should see this guy. They call him Kimbo, and he's like this most ridiculous looking person you ever seen."
Mm-hmm.
And they showed me the fight, and this big buff black guy with this crazy beard, street fighting, and it's just like Tyson was a generation before us. I think it's safe to say. So seeing that, it was just like, oh my God. And then we were just searching, and then when we came to MMA, he was a draw, and when you saw Kimbo fight, that was, I wouldn't say Tyson, because that that I would say is kind of disrespectful to the legacy and the aura, but he had that aura around him.
Yeah, he was a dog. I mean, it's kind of the same thing. I remember a buddy of mine we were sitting at my house one day, and he was like, "Oh man, I saw this crazy video, man. I gotta show you this video." And he was like, "I'm not gonna say anything. I'll just show you." I was like, "What is it?" He was like, "All I'm gonna say is Kimbo Slice." I said, "Kimbo Slice? What the hell is that? Like, is that a dessert? Like, what is a Kimbo Slice?" And I'm sitting here making fun of the name Kimbo, and then we get on there, and he gets to looking things up, and then it comes up, and he was like, "Yeah, that's Kimbo." And I was like, "Oh, shit." All right, so I didn't know what to expect, and then he just started teeing off on that dude, and from that moment, I was just like, yo. And then, he had the different videos where he was paying people to let him do certain things. Like, there was the one thing where the dude was, like, caught a football, and he paid the guy to let him tackle him. And, I mean, how much money would it take for me to get tackled by Kimbo? Y'all don't even want to hear the number, because...
if it pays off my tuition, then let's do it.
No, you got to pay for more than that, and my mama need a house. But with that being said, though, I just wanted to throw a quick RIP to Kimbo and Muhammad Ali, and shouts out to the respective families.
That's real. Thank you guys so much for listening. Remember, like this post, share this post, comment, talk about it with your friends, and give us a listen, guys. Share with everybody. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Jet and Mike podcast. Fellas, it's been real.
Been realer than you think.
Yes, sir.